بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والنازعات غرقا والناشطات نشطا والسبحات سبحا فالسبقات سبقا فالمدبرات أمرا يوم ترجف راجفة تتبعها رادفة قلوب يومئذ واجفة أبصارها خاشعة يقولون أئنا لمردودون في الحافرة أئذا كنا عظاما ناخرة قالوا تلك إذا كرة قاصرة فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم بالساهرة هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ ناداه ربه وبالمقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى فآره الآيات الكبرى فكذب وعصى ثم أدبر يسعى فحشر فنادى فقال أن ربكم أعلى فأخذه الله نكل الآخرات الأولى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى إن في ذلك لعبرة لمن يخشى أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها رفع سمكها فسواها وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها والأرض بعد ذلك دحاها أخرج منها ماءها ومرعاها والجبال أرسها متاعا لكم ولأنعامكم فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى يوم يتذكر الإنسان ما سعى وبرزت الجحيم لمن يرى وأما ما طغى وآثار الحياة الدنيا فإن الجحيم هي المأوى وأما من خاف مقام ربه نهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى يسألونك عن الساعة أيان مرساها فيما أنت من ذكرها إلى ربك منتهاها إنما أنت منذر من يغشاها كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلى عشية أو ضحاها صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله ونبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
You can't sit down. Sorry, you got to go in the room. In the back. I know. Okay. We'll find a chair for you. to come with me. You have to come with me.
So we're about to start. I need to use the bodies. One, two, three. I need you all to go. There's one in the corner. You need to share these
No, you got
chairs here.
Sister, please, come.
There's some more chairs right at the end of this line. Brother Mansour, any other brothers coming, keep them in order. Yes, sir. We need a seat. Come down front.
You said no. Can you just tell you where you
Abdul-HakimSaturday, come down front. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. I got a little feedback up here. So dear brothers and sisters, we're going to start. Listen, I need you all to quit fidgeting and get settled, ready to start. I say this for the last time. Anybody else arriving, put them in the overflow room. Somebody get up and give your elder Imam Abdul-HakimSaturday seat. These seats are for elders. The young people sit on the floor, and the elders with younger needs sit on the floor. So dear brothers and sisters, we are starting now. I have to have somebody come and take this loose. I have to run us on a tight time schedule this morning so that we can get out of here in about 50 to 55 minutes. 56 years ago, we founded the mosque in this country. I wasn't there too long, about 3 years after that, 4 years after that. I noticed that not only within the context of our prayers, but also just within the context of keeping our common awareness, keeping us all on the same page. And we always opened everything with the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha to such an extent that that first generation of youngsters like Abdul-HakimSaturday, when he went overseas to Yemen to study, I remember him telling me he was asking the sheikhs, why y'all don't open with Fatiha? Because that was the only orientation that he had. So I'm going to ask us all to open with Surah Al-Fatiha, Jami'an, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So, dear brothers and sisters, we find ourselves, as I was saying to the family yesterday, as we were at the funeral home carrying the remains of our now late and beloved sister, that we are within the life of a Jamaat, within the life of a community. We are now at the other end of what happens when there's an Aqiqah. When a child is born and we have the Aqiqah ceremony, that is the beginning of yet another life in the life of a community, in the life of a Jamaat. And when someone passes, particularly when they reach the age of an elder and they pass away from this life, from this stage of life, and that's at the other end of the Aqiqah. And all of it is part of the life cycle of a family, the life cycle of the community. And here in the Quran, in Surah Al-Yasin, the heart of the Quran, Allah says, "Inna nahnu nuhyi al-maut wa naktubu ma qaddamu wa atharahum. وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ." Allah says, "We shall resurrect the dead." We are recording all that they are sending ahead and that they are leaving behind. We have recorded everything فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ, open book, open ledger. In this case, the word imam means book, ledger. Our lives are a book. When we usher forth into the life of this world, the book is opened, and every day of our lives, our deeds are being recorded page by page till it's time to close the book. Our lives are a book. It's like, people who they keep what they call a diary or a personal journey. Each of us has a certain amount of pages in our book before the book is finished. So before we stand for the Janaza or prayer for Salatul Janaza, we're going to want for us to take just a few minutes to read from the page that you share in common with our late Sister Muhaimina. This is a living obituary. So if you just raise your hand and I'll call you and you can just stand up and say for no more than a minute something on your page with her. Some of you, the page that her name is written on encompasses your entire life when you came into the life of this world. Each of us here encountered her during her journey through the life of this world. Come from Allah. We're here in this life for a few minutes, a few moments, and then we leave. And we go to where we're going to spend the majority of our eternal existence, which is in the eye. So I'll open it up here, and again, I'll just raise your hand. You don't even have to stand. We're all just right here. And just say something nice, as is the tradition of our faith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us when someone passes away to say something nice about them, something good about them, or else don't say anything. Sister Aisha. And I just need to ask everyone to kind of speak up a bit.
When I think of Sister Muhaimina, it reminds me of my first Hajj. And after I completed my first Hajj, I came to this masjid and I met Sister Muhaimina and Sister Halima. And they welcomed me as if I was always part of this community. And so we always kept in contact, in friendship, and it reminds me in my pages that we should reach out to people. It's very important. That's what should be to me. Should always be in my page, my book. May Allah give us paradise.
Assalamu alaikum. One thing Muhaimina, which I shared with Brother Yahya, Sister Muhaimina said that when she would go to work in the morning and she would be on the bus, the New Jersey Turnpike, she said she would recite, the Fatiha so loudly on the bus that people would not sit near her. And she would, stretch out and put her her bag there and her Quran there, and she would be saying, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, Alhamdulillah. And she said the bus used to be so crowded. So that is one memory, you know, I have of her. Assalamu alaikum.
SisterMuhaimina was one of my first teachers at the Janaza Academy. She took us out to the garden, showed us how the maple syrup up to Wayfield. She read to us when we were children. Her instructor, Sheikh Tawfiq, I remember her reading the Lion Original Wardrobe. We used to go to the park. She taught us about monarchs, photosynthesis, butterflies, regarding, you know, everything that you could possibly can tell about a beautiful person was Auntie Muhaimina. She exhibited radiance, and I was always happy to be in her company.
Who else? I'm going to say family members for last. I got everybody. Raise your hand. I see everything from up here. Let me run this. Okay? Y'all should know that by now. I'm at this mic. Okay, I see it. Okay? And I'm going to call Sister Yuli. Anybody who wants to speak, raise your hand up. Guys, let's see.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. SisterMuhaimina is an educator and scholar, and she was one of my teachers here. I would take her classes. But what really resonated is the memories of the road trips that we did. We went to the retreats. He was there with us too. The joy that SisterMuhaimina would show and talk, and she was loved. She is loved.
Tell us who you are, please.
Shukran. My name is Nadim Abdul-HakimSaturday. I'm Team Muhaimina, one of my first educators. Many of us in the room here. Very fond memories of her. Teaching us with one arm on the blackboard while holding her youngest daughter, Manuela, in the other arm. Fond memories of her taking us to the apple orchard in New Jersey. One of my favorite trips we did every year, sometimes twice a year. We were young at all house on the camp.
Who else? Hisham, Rafiq, and looks like SisterMuhaimina.
Assalamualaikum.
Why?
Yes, Abdul-HakimSaturday also was my first teacher, and I just remember that blackboard in the Harim, writing the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious on the board, and we had to make as many words out of that one paper.
Y'all sound like y'all had more fun with her than any of the elders ever had in school. SisterMuhaimina, and we'll come back with you. Why?
When I think of SisterMuhaimina as an educator, but also as an ambassador for Allah and for MIB. And she was a sister that was not selfish. Whatever she learned, whatever she enjoyed, she shared with all of us. I had the honor to be in the sisterhood with her for 40 years. We were together with a few other sisters as Girl Scout leaders. And I had the honor to be in the Majlis with her. She loved Allah, she loved the children, she loved people. May Allah bless her and reward her with Jannah.
Who's next? Sister Halima.
I knew her when she first came to the mosque. I was at Brother Yahya's and SisterMuhaimina's nikah. We go back so far, can't remember, so yes, it's almost 50 years, right?
Yes.
We were the pioneering generation of MIB, and we knew and understood that we had a mission. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made us this, and that we were to help to establish Deen of Allah here in the United States of America. So she and I many times up all night doing all kinds of things, going here, going there, and helping to establish the Muslim woman's dress that adhered to the Sunnah, the Quran and Sunnah, etc. Sewing through the night, doing all kinds of things, cooking, establishing our diet, blah, blah, blah. So there's so much I can't think of any Islamic memory that I have that did not include Sister Muhaimina and her children. We lived in the same building when we rehabbed these buildings, and her children would be staying in my place, and my son would stay in her place, and the Sheikh when he was and I were went to Mecca, Saudi Arabia for a while. Her family watched the cat. Mashallah. That's how we were. So our lives are so intertwined in this deed that I can't separate.
And that's Sister Halima, who has been a member of this Jamaat longer than any other person. Other than myself. She was here when I came here. And so I want you to know how far back her Islamic memory goes. Let's come to Imam Lukman and Shaheed and Balak. Wa alaikum salam.
My heart is heavy. Sister Muhaimina was my neighbor, right across the border. There's so much I can say about Sister Muhaimina, so I'm going to cut it really short. I worked with her on the education committee that started the Banahullah Islamic Academy. Her and myself were with our seed in the education committee. The school started in my apartment in the Bronx. She was my neighbor then, before we even came to establish this. She was also, her and Sister Halima were always the go-to persons in the mosque. I went back to school, and I didn't know how to type. Sister Muhaimina wrote all my papers for me that I wrote in longhand. She typed them. And so I got a degree at 44 years old. And then I went on and did some master's study at the University of Places. She was a true sister. You talk about a sister soldier, that's what she was. I'm going to leave it right there. There's too much to say about sister.
Good one.
A lot of tears in my eyes.
Somebody, my Lukman, I hope you learn how to type by now.
Your wife down.
Both. Have a seat, please.
I'm here this morning to honor a servant of love. That she certainly was. She served the community, she served her family, and she served my business community for over 40 years. I thank Allah and I thank the family for sharing us with me. It was a great experience, and I dearly miss my dear sister. We all are find favor in our grand.
I'm going to take about 5 more minutes and move on. Is that Sister Labika in the corner here? Yes.
Well, my heart is heavy as well. Sister Muhaimina, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. That's my heart. One of the sisters that always had me stay. We fought each other. One of my fondest memories of her, I called her one time and asked her, how was the man of the house? And I was talking about Nasir. Nasir was about maybe 3 years old at the time. and she went telling me all about Omiyaka. Omiyaka's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing well, he's eating all his vegetables. And when she got done, she talked about Omiyaka for about 10 minutes, and when she got done, I said, I'm talking about Nasi. So every time we saw each other, especially at the match day, I say, I was the man of the house. And she got it then. She would tell me about Nasi. So, and she always had such wonderful things to say about her. That's what it is. That's it.
Thank you so much for that. Anyone else? Whoever that is. Sister Aziza. Yes.
More than a sister in Islam, to me, Sister Muhaimina became a big part of my family. She shared in the things that I did with my children, with my greater family, with my extended family. She was always there to celebrate with us. We had different affairs. We went on a picnic, we went on a ride anywhere, just things to enjoy. There were times when I took her children with me, and there's times when she took my children with her. And that's something that will never be forgotten. She was always a part of my extended family. And for that, I loved her and continue to. And that's something that will always be.
Brother Jawad. We'll only take 1 or 2 more minutes, and then I'll turn it over to the family if they want to make any comment, and then we'll make Janaza.
It might be. I wasn't going to say anything, but how could I not say anything to a sister when I came into it? It might be. She embraced me. She taught me in my hard head and the belly sucked. You understand? And she's a sister soldier. I salute her. All our brothers in MIB. We salute her, respect her, and love her. And the most, I want to share with y'all the most illuminating experience of my life with her and her husband, Yaya, when we went on Hajj together. Man, I got mad when we made football. It's not my wife. It's husband and wife. Well, 89 of us went together, man, and it was beautiful experience, mind-blowing experience. And I will never forget her love. Because she's told me many times. I love her. She's a sister, so I love her family. Watch her family grow. I don't want to get bitter. But I want to see her cry. And I want to see her. That's the love I have for her. So I'm grateful.
What year was that Hajj, Brother Jawad? Somebody that went with him helped. What year was that? 2000. 23 years ago. All right. Any final comment before I go to the family? Sister Anita. Am I missing somebody over here? Sister Anita, and then Brother Jamal, and then I'll put that level up on Sister Anita. Raise your hand again. You don't know.
Assalamu alaikum. Sister Anita, Sister Mom said, everybody else. I came to MIB in 91 and Muhaimina and her children jumped in my car. We've been friends. Muhaimina was my friend, my confidant, my go-to. We spent a lot of time talking. We talked about things maybe that we didn't talk to her. Muhaimina was my road buddy. We would solve a lot of issues by taking a road trip. Our road trips were always for something to join other Muslims, learn about the deen, something to heal, spiritually and physically heal, and something to share God's creation with front person. She taught me a lot during those years. She taught me, one of my first lessons was that even though things go wrong, we still have to keep moving. We still have responsibility. There was a particular event that happened here at the masjid, and that was the first time that I did that with her. She would give me a gift, but at the time I didn't realize the gift was an education too. And she gave me, she was my friend. She was just my friend. I never go on to her, and I miss her.
Shukran. Brother Jamal.
Look amongst the people here celebrating life with Sister Muhaimina. These are the lives that she touched. I came along maybe in 91, 92, and I watched her as an example of what you call service, unwavering, and she was a model for me of consistency. How calm, how collected, how passionate she was about serving the Lord. Those are the things that I took from her, and I try to carry those things on now. My love for this community is big because they embrace me and more of the community. And we here are a product of her teachings, of her love, and her commitment to our community. And with that, we must continue with the legacy of upholding Islam and the community of North America as an example to other people so they can see the love and the character that we exhibit as being Muslims, as being believers. She carried herself with such grace that she is an example to all of us in how we should conduct ourselves, how we should commit service to the place that we say we believe in.
That's good. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah.
So is there anyone in the immediate family who would like to say anything, share anything, perhaps opportunity to do so beside this prayer? Amen.
Listening to the stories of my mother, of my family, because I don't differentiate Muhammad Yazid. You say those words, they mean something. These were part of our parental upbringing as a community. I have my biological uncle Mark Sibley also as part of the community in ways. I remember my grandparents being part of the community. MIB and my mother is MIB through and through. As one of her children, she was a loving person. I'm going to tell you, my mother was a hard worker. And she always had a bag on her shoulder ready to go. Even in her latter years, and Allah was expiating with her sickness and preparing for Allah. She was always ready to go. And, we borrowed her for a couple of months because, she was going through challenges. She would have to go on walks. For the last time we felt like I was like, so people got on a block. I never seen anyone walking so fast. Because she always had something to do. And so, even if she didn't remember, she always said, I gotta be doing something. My mother always had something to do. And it wasn't fiddle power. It was, she had the stacks of paper. She would be early in her life reading because when she transitioned to proofreading business documents with and for Brother Raoul and working on master committees and preparing for mobility classes and preparing for classes for her to learn. And she always had a smile. Everybody, at the last couple of weeks, everybody said, smile. You know? And when she passed away, she loved this Wallahi. She was like, and it was like a feather over the water. So we're happy that we should not only sister with us for this time, she lived a very full life. And I hope that we do not only continue traditional share of sadness, and we find opportunities to share happiness. Because it means more when we provide more than just happiness. And so, listen up. We're not afraid for them. We're not married them. We're not going to go out with them. We're not going to sell it for them. We're not going to home for them. We can buy a wealth for them. And you can do this with your parents too, because we want to be burying each other. And this is my first experience from an Islamic perspective, laying the rest of my family. We're welcoming a lot of people, and it's the first time that we are decreasing. Well, I'm still happy. Because my mother was a special person for all of us. So that's what I want to say.
Shukran so much. Come on. Tell us who you are.
My name's Sadia. There's so many memories of my Jada, my grandma. We have so many memories with her. And I feel like one thing that she is always going to stick with me, she's such a girl's girl, if that makes sense. She loved me and my cousins, and she always made stuff fun for us. And like one of the memories I have of her is me and my aunties and my cousins. We went to Alice's teacup, I think, and we had like an extravagant like tea party, and it was so fun. And like this is just like example of the things she would do for us. Like she took my cousins on one of her road trips where they went to Islamic like convention, and like that's just like she loved us so much, and she always wanted to make us love Islam, and that's just something I remember.
Shukran. Go right ahead, pass the mic right to your right. Go ahead. Okay. Who else? Go ahead. Tell us who you are.
It's me. Nervous. I'm a lot. Now this is the first time I'm experiencing something like this. And you know, when I think of my Jada, she was such like a strong individual. A strong, confident, happy, and powerful woman figure in my family. I have vivid memories of her, you know, being out serving at the lakes and house, or like wearing us at a bar, doing all this great stuff, but it was, I think now I'm kind of like, I think Allah is the best planet. I think, you know, we're all blessed to be able to see her be such a great person. But it was also humbling to see how she transitioned to where she is today. And I think it's just a reminder for everybody to just, you know, try to be as strong as just we can, help people around us, be a light, you know, be somebody that, you know, when we pass, you know, people have fond memories of us. And, you know, I'm happy because I know she's going to be. I know Allah's going to support her.
Shukran Jimmy. Let's take this will be the last comment from the family, and then we're going to pray.
I'm Mara's grandchildren, Miss Watson. I'm just going to read a poem that my cousin wrote. She doesn't read it, but it's really good. I'd like to share it. My daughter, how we love you so. You watched this girl and gave us all your love to hold. The kindest most of the better woman I know. Oh, my daughter, how I love you so. You showed me the beauty of the soul, gave me so much happiness in this world. Oh, my daughter, how I love you so. My daughter, the heart of our homes. Seeing you go won't be easy. Your love so dearly. How I wish you had more time. One more hug and kiss goodbye. One more sleepover, one more dinner time. Time is slipping, but I'll hold on to your love forever. You get so strong and loving grandmother, and now the time has come for us to return our love to you. To give you the kisses, give you the hugs, that will be like me. She wrote this while we were in the hospital. So, give you the kisses, give you the hugs, that we love you, and your love will go on. We return to a lost strong time. The one you taught us to love, and the one you hold so close. I love you, Jada, and our hearts will remain forever honest.
I have to add one more person. Come on.
I don't need a mic.
Okay, go ahead.
Muhaimina is not my sister in Islam. She's my sister. My sister has been my inspiration all my life. And I have known her longer than anyone in this room, and that's incredible to me. She is why I'm a sober member of the society. She is why I have a faith in God. She is why I was successful in life and now as a teacher following her for God knows what reason. But more than that, I just want to say I'm so grateful that she had a family, because that's what this is. MIB was her family. I remember this room when it was not a room. I remember this room when there was wood floor. I remember this room without microphones and windows and things like that. And I'm setting up schools. And I was that unruly child here in the mosque. And I know that anything else would be that way with hair. But honestly, that is my best memory, and the only word from my sister. Muhaimina was faithful to this community, to my family. For that, I thank all of you.
Thank you, Mars. Thank you. All right, so we're going to, that's it.
Make an announcement, Mars.
Go ahead.
So, for those of you who have cars out front that are double parked, you have to move the cars before we begin the procession, because the hearse is blocked in, all right? So if you have cars, please go downstairs and move them before we go to the cemetery.
Okay, meeting at the conclusion of this service. No one has to move now. All right. So we're going to pray the Janaza prayer now for her. So this is how this is going to go. Everyone is going to stand where they are. All of the women in the family, you stand where you are, just turn in this direction, okay? And everybody else is good already facing the direction. I'm going to stand here, so let's do that right now. Straighten out your lines. Don't be shy about moving in tight, because there's no ruku, no sajda in this salah. They are only straight lines. Just make sure you're standing next to something. Like where y'all are good right there. Two, okay. Those of you who have made Hajj, one of the things that we learn on Hajj is you see men and women praying like right next to each other. Just that everybody has their own line, their own space. So this Salah to Janaza, this consists of 4. I know I'm talking loud enough. I'm talking into the mic. Let the people in the sound room know that. They can't hear. It's not me. All right, so again, there's 4 rakahs. First rakah, Fatiha. Second rakah, Dawud Sharif. Third rakah, dua for our dear beloved. And after the 4th rakah, we'll taslim. Then after we pray the salah, we'll sit back down. I'll close this out with just a few words, and then we'll get ready to start getting ready to leave for salah. All right, again, once again, make sure your lines are straight, please. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. Let's be seated, please. So I want to always at Janazas over the almost 33 years that I've been around here. And then I didn't really start conducting janazas until I became an imam. And during those 13 years that I was naib to Sheikh Alama Tawfiq Rahmatullah alayhi, I was a very young person, very young. And as the years have gone by, and I've conducted one janaza after the other, these words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have over the years become very dear to me. First few ayahs of Surah Al-Mulk. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tabaraka alladhi biyadihi al-mulk wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. Allah says, in the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate God. Blessed be He in whose hands is the dominion, meaning the kingdom of the universe, the mulk, and has power over all things. The one who created death and life so that He may put you to test, that He may try you, test you, to find out which of you is best in deeds and actions and behavior. And he is the Almighty, the all-forgiving God. So our life in this world, as I said, is very, very brief. I don't care if you live to be 100 years old, 105, 106. I'm looking, I see a couple of people that their parents lived to be 106 years old. I can name 2 or 3 of them. That's still just a blink of an eye. And those of us who are elders, we can remember when we were children like it was yesterday, literally. So, between the coming into this life and the leaving of this life of this world, that's what we call life, but it's really just a part of our life. Life with Allah before we came into existence. We have a life here, and we're going to have a life long after we leave here. So I want to bear witness to everyone here who has described our beloved as a soldier. I know that was your Umi. I know that was your Zawja. I know that was your Ummati. I know that was your Jadda. I know that was your friend and your sister and mine too. SisterMuhaimina was a soldier. I remember the day that she walked through the door. Just like I remember the day that Brother Yahya walked through the door. I think they were about maybe 23 years old or something like that. I was like 21. We were youngsters. I'm looking at our sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, and y'all are older than that. Some of y'all about 7 years. And these 2 soldiers, Yahya just came back home from Vietnam. These 2 soldiers met at the Banu Hidal Tea Room in West 145th Street when they both showed up to learn this religion. They didn't know each other then. I knew both of them. Remember when Muhaimina came through the door? She was an early student of mine. I was very impressed by her love for learning. And she maintained that love, as Harun reminded us. She maintained a love for learning this religion until the day she passed away. When she started realizing that something was wrong, that she was losing her faculties, she talked to me, and the thing she was most concerned about was her prayers and the things that she had known for decades. She said, Imam, she told me, she said, Imam, it's getting hard for me to remember. She said, that's what she was worried. She wasn't worried about the rest of that. I'm telling you, as a 23, 24, 25 years old person, as I think it was Sister Lahina said, she talked about how giving Muhaimina was. She gave everything. She gave her talents and her abilities, and she had talents and abilities. She was a college graduate. She came right to MIB as a Montessori, graduate school graduate. She came right to MIB and laid her talents on the table under the guidance of Sheikh Allama Tawfiq Rahmatullah Alayhi, and said, I'm in. And I knew her as a person. Back in those days when, like I said, we were all young, very young, when I finished teaching her, and she was living in Mount Vernon, right, Morris? She used to travel from Mount Vernon to Harlem every week for her lessons. And she was always on time and always diligent. And then I would ride with her on the train back up to Mount Vernon, put her on a taxi cab, and then I would go home. So we would talk. She would tell me about her days as a college student and the things that she was involved in, all of them positive, and the things that she liked. We used to laugh because one of our little conversations was the day of the death of Otis Redding, whom she loved dearly as a musician, you know, because she was in Michigan then. So whatever we was doing, she was in immediately. No phase in, no gradually, no nothing. In, right away. In for a penny, in for a pound, they say. And then, maybe 30 years ago, I was working at Sing Sing prison then. So one day I was on the train on my way to work, and Mrs. McCormick got on the train, behind his mother. So we sat together, we rode north together on the Metro North, and she talked to me about her daughter. And what SisterMuhaimina was like as an adolescent. How proud she, being her mother, was when she became a Muslim after having been a Lutheran. That was another joke Muhaimina and I had. Because we were both Lutherans, we used to say, oh yeah, Lutherans make good Muslims once they accept Islam. I mean, we always laughed about that. And you need to know that about her. You need to know that she had a long evolution before many of you were born. That's how you were born. That's why you were born. Because of who she became. And my memories of her and Yahya, we talk about road buddies, road dogs, Yahya was mine. A soldier fresh home from Vietnam. And people been calling me all week. Sister Jamila, you've been calling me. She said she was reminding me of when she and Sister Muhaimina used to work in the tea room together. Neither one of them was married. And they used to be cracking jokes and making dua at the same time. Yeah, we gotta find us a husband. And then this mix here. And finally, Sister Muhaimina, she told Jamila, she said, well, I got mine. You better get yours. SubhanAllah. My daughter Hawa, who was one of those taught, down in Florida now. She said, and I didn't remember this, you know, but she said, it's on Facebook. She said, I used to spend so much time in Sister Muhaimina's home, I feel like I spent more time there than I did in my own home. Hawa said. And she asked me to sing greetings, and Imam Tawaf in Cleveland, and the brothers and sisters in Cleveland, and so many others. So I'm going to close, because we got to get up out of here. I want to read one more, a translation of one more ayah from the Quran. This is Surah Al-Hajj, beginning at the 5th ayah, the 5th verse. Allah says, Ya Yohannas, O mankind, if you doubt about the life after death, if you doubt about it, remember that we first created you from dust, then from a sperm, then from a leech-like mass, then from a morsel of flesh, some formed and some unformed, so that we might manifest to you our power, Allah says. We cause to remain in the womb whom we wish for an appointed term, and then we bring you forth as infants. Then we nourish you so that you may reach your age of full strength. There are some of you who die young, and some who live on to their abject old age. when all that they once knew, they know no more. You sometimes see the land dry and barren, but no sooner do we pour down rain upon it than it begins to stir and swell, putting forth every kind of beautiful growth. This is because Allah is the ultimate truth. It says, Inna Allah huwa al-haq. Allah is the ultimate truth and the reality. It is He who gives life to the dead, and it is He who has power over everything. And that the hour of doom is sure to come, there's no doubt about it, and that Allah will raise up those who are in the graves. And surely Allah has spoken the truth, and will end with Allah's word. Muhaimina's passing is a sign for us. Her growth from 23 or 24-year-old young person in MIB to an elder is a sign for us. Her dedication to family, to community, to Allah, to religion is a sign for us, a sign for the young people. I want to remind you, and I'll do a couple more reminders at the grave because we want to get out of here. We've got a good 75-minute or so drive out to Forest Green Cemetery to bury her remains. And that'll be my last reminder. These are her remains. Her soul is very much alive. Her soul is moving towards the barzakh, toward that realm of life between the dunya and the akhirah, the barzakh. She's moving right there. Moving right there. After having been rendered mercy by her Lord. We knew her and loved her. Her Lord knew her even better. So when it was time for her to leave this life, Allah just sent His angels and just gently, ever so gently, eased her soul from her physical shell. Every time from the moment she lapsed into a coma, everybody looked at her. She was looking like she's sleeping. No discomfort, no pain, no moaning, nothing like that. And that's the type of soul she was. She belonged to Allah, she don't belong to us. Allah loaned her to us. Now He is taking back that which is His. May He comfort sons and daughters, grandchildren, husband. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His continued mercy and kindness. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Ameen. So again, we've got a long. So those of you who need to, we're going to do two things now. Pay attention. First of all, we're going to need everybody except for the immediate family to evacuate this room as quickly as possible. Those of you who need to leave their cars for what was ready before, get to the front of the line and go right downstairs.
Let your sisters out first.
Let the sisters out front first, brother.